Alright, welcome to World of Tanks Console Edition. My name is Xenozach, and I'll be doing a first for my channel, which is doing a tank review on the new released HMH artillery for the British line, which is the FV305. Tier 8. As you can see, it looks rather similar to the FV304, the Tier 6 British artillery, but that is because that's exactly what it is. It even has the exact same description, which is nonchalantly put there by Wargaming console developers, obviously. But utilizing a 5.5-inch gun from the Tier 7 artillery, and I believe that's the Crusader SP. Same exact gun, the Tier 7. You can see here. Some of the stats, we'll be going over this a little bit more when I actually connect it. Let's see, we have a little bit more detail, but one of the most important things that you can't see when you actually start up playing on Xbox is the fact that you can actually get the details for what the bonuses are on your premium vehicles, which is of course in this tank, Tier 8 premium tanks normally tend to have a better silver earning capacity, and this one's no different, with silver percentage being 57%, and of course the XP bonus is not so much. But in that respect, you know, the gun caliber is 139 millimeters. It does hold quite a bit of ammo, even though you kind of go through it when you're going over it, as you'll see later on. You know, because of the reload, I think mine is 1155. You tend to go through for the ammunition rather quickly. The damage all depends on where you hit and if you actually penetrate, as with most artillery. You'll notice that no matter what artillery you use, there's always that splash radius that you'll get on any of them. If you really, just to notice some of the similarities, we can pull up the FV304. You can clearly see it's the exact same description. Of course, this one's in silver, while the FV305 above is in gold. It does come with 100 extra hit points. I believe it is 100, yes, 100 exact. The weight, of course, has to be increased because it's moving from a Tier 6 to a Tier 8. In all intents and purposes, this is another console exclusive tank, which is quite unique for us because most PC players, and I know one in particular, loves the Bert, which is why exactly this is called Bert the Avenger. Made famous by the mighty Jingles, of course. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be intrigued by the new Super Berts, for all intents and purposes that everyone probably on console will be calling it. So we'll look forward to that. I cannot give ace tanker gameplay, as I'm pretty sure not a lot of people can in artillery, but I'll try to give it my best overall. Overall, go at it with the reviews I have for the tank. So let me pull that up, which is this one. We can actually, before I pull that up, I should probably show you in-game stats, just to give you a little bit more base on these. So this is directly connected to my Xbox, and believe me, there is no editing in this. This is probably my first tank review, and I hope it's not the last. I'll see how better I can get at it. But for now, let's go over this. As you can see, the stats on the Bert FV304 Tier 6, you know, engine This tank, everybody loves it because of the fast reload time in the top right there. You can see 8.8 is the base reload, so that is not accounting for your any perks you have, which the only perk that increases is Brothers in Arms. No vents, no gun rammer, which, you know, for a standard loadout, that's kind of what you're going for, whether in the Bert or in the Super Berts, the FV305. But we'll just be comparing a little bit because there's no real way to compare them. No real way to compare the FV305 to any of the other artillery besides the Tier 8 non-premium, the FV307, I believe that's what it is. Let me double check that before I go talking nonsense. Oh, 207, so I was really close. But get into the FV305. So my crew is a rank 5 crew. You have 17 ranks. The higher you get, the more perks you earn, the better your overall effectiveness of your tank commander is for your tank. I have 3 perks, which are kind of key when using. So it's going for an auto. It's going for the artillery setup. Brothers in Arms is a key thing you always want to have on your artillery. Camouflage is kind of a not a go-to perk, but it does help as much as people don't like to implement it. You'll see my loadout is the gun rammer, of course, the vents, and the gun laying drive. You can scoot over to that. These are a bit pricier, but I mean, this is coming off of a tier 8, so even with the price of them, it's not all that bad. The most expensive purchase you'll probably end up getting is the enhanced gun laying drive, which I do recommend only because the aiming time on it on the FV305 is not all that great. So, you know, any kind of little improvement you can make, it's kind of necessary. Spall liner isn't really a big issue because, you know, with 380 health, you're a tier 8. Most of the tanks can either one-shot you or leave you on minuscule health. And if you, even though it has great speed, the acceleration or the turning isn't all that great. So if you get hit once, you don't really have that much time to get away. I'm not using the camouflage net because it tends to get it decent enough. As far as I've been with my own experience in it, going through the camouflage bonus you get with, you know, the base camouflage it has on is actually really well. The only time I got detected was when the light tanks would break through, actually going all the way for me. But there is no option for that. There are, you know, you can still get an inscription. I was really hoping to be able to take my FV304 inscriptions and putting it on, but I had to settle on just buying one. Of course, there's always the emblems. It comes with its own. I couldn't find where this was actually, but it comes with an emblem, so you don't necessarily have to spend it, and it's a really cool emblem. I'll give them that. As far as supplies go out, because the tank is a tier 8 with that silver bonus, you don't necessarily have to use this, but I kind of recommend it. What happened there? I kind of recommend it. The putting in T, you know, if you're getting this tank, you're probably a little bit more experienced. It's for people that have the Bert and wanted a premium version. But putting in T, because it's a silver tank, you know, silver making tank, you would kind of just stick it on there. The small repair kit and the small first aid kit, or you don't have to use the premium ones. You don't want to. you know, it's either 50 gold or 20,000 silver. I would stick with the small ones because, again, small health pool doesn't necessarily mean you'll be, you know, you won't survive that many shots. Although I'll give it to my brother, who we'll talk about later on. Revival actually managed to bounce the IS-6's gun off of his own gun, point blank, which was a miracle. The difference between the high explosive, of course, the FV304, one type of ammo, the HE, the 5.5-inch BL that this gets, it does pay to put a little bit, you know, 10 meters of splash versus 15 meters, and again, I clicked that button. Versus 15 meters of splash, you know, you could do some really, it's you know, you people talk about the penetration. It's not necessarily that. It's the splash. Sometimes hitting a lightly armored tank cause the wider spread of the splash causes you to do more damage because it's damaging more parts of the tank. That's the effectiveness of it. Standard HE, I mean, you want to keep most of that. I would never recommend going all premium if you really just want to throw money at this game. That's what the Death Star is for. Moving on. We can clearly go through. You can see what the penetration is on this. You know, 90, 95 versus the supplies that just gives you a rough detail of it. Aiming time is 6.5 seconds. Of course, these are all standard. It's not giving you the effective values that the tank can perform with a good crew or any of the such. Accuracy, I won't say the tank is inaccurate. Point 0.71, you know, for an artillery is still decent, but you get that with the velocity of the shell, you don't. It makes it seem like the tank is inaccurate. We can go over that in a second. You can see that the engine down there, 500, the 22 power, 0.15 horsepower. That was also on the page for the Wargaming Wikipedia site, which I used before. Top speed forward 68. Top speed doesn't necessarily mean that's the exact speed you're going. The effective speed depends on the terrain you're going. 68 would probably be going downhill. Effectively, you can get about 62 to 65, which isn't, you know, it's not that you don't really notice the difference. I got up to about 60 on average on medium terrain, or was it 50? Not too sure. Reverse speed, you really, what this tank is meant for is just to run in. If you shoot and you get spotted, you can try reversing, but going forward is the best option. It really is. Reverse speed at 12 makes you feel kind of useless, and that kind of comes into the one of the main weaknesses is, I feel, for every artillery, which is turning. You know, every time you turn, the gun. I'm sorry about that. The gun has to readjust. The aiming circle has to skip. The bloom has to come back in. On this tank, I feel it's even worse because the fast 68 kind of fools you. It does not turn fast at all. It turns horrendously slow. So that's kind of, if the distance it can get for the range on the shot is probably what you want to take advantage of, which in most cases artillery. But for the FV304 drivers, you know that you're always staying close. You know, close isn't necessarily, you'll feel the difference because this has more range than that. You can see I don't know why they put the range because that doesn't really matter. Reload time standard 14.6. Like I said earlier, my reload time with my crew was 11.55 seconds, and that was just with the rank 5 crew with Brothers in Arms. The gun rammer and the vents do play a role in that, but that's just probably be about 12.5 seconds without Brothers in Arms, so it's not really that relative difference. But the gun rammer and the events do play a part in this, as well as the pudding that I do I remember right, that's probably what brings it down below the 12 seconds. Gun depression, same as the Bert, you won't have any. There's What artillery do you really want to have gun depression? That's what they're meant for, aiming in the sky. Uh, that aiming time, again, is like I said, it's a while. You wait, but that's with any artillery. The gun laying drive, along with the putting defense, that kind of helps, but you'll still feel like, why are my shots not connected? We get the ground resistance, terrain resistance on this. Rotation speed, that's what we were talking about earlier. 20 degrees, so not all that great. Um, and on medium terrain, you definitely feel that, medium and soft. The hard terrain, played on 2 hard terrain maps, and it wasn't all that much. You'll get the max 20 on medium and soft. It's about 15 or 16 degrees. So the way the numbers are set up, it's from 1.1 is what you get on hard, 1.5 is what you get on medium, 2.3 is on soft. So in case anybody ever wondered what those numbers were, that's exactly what it's referring to, the ground resistance. The radio, it's never really explained. I've never really gone over signal range with anyone. I'd probably have to check that in my own time. The ammunition, of course, you can check the shell velocity, and this is where I feel like it makes you feel like the tank is inaccurate. The shell velocity on each of them is the same, but it clearly marks out the difference in the splash radius for your ammunition. 3.15 meters is roughly about 10, 10 feet of splash. I believe it's between 9 and 10. And the 4.5 is 15 meters. Might be a little bit less or a little bit more. I'm not sure. 15 feet of splash. So most artillery players will be most comfortable in going over that. But um, again, lightly armored versus just a rapid firing HE. It's up to you. I feel carrying some premium kind of makes a difference. The standard HE, it's there. You hit, you do damage. That's it. That's what HE does, which is why most people drive the KV2, of course. And of course, like I said, my crew, rank 5. It only has 3 perks. The last perk is, I believe that's clutch braking. Double check on that. Clutch braking, so I'd be able to turn faster, increasing the vehicle rotation speed. Definitely a handy skill to have, and if you have a more experienced artillery crew, definitely recommended. Brothers in Arms is always recommended on any tank, and Sixth Sense. The reason I have camouflage again is because of if you're standing, if you're still, kind of helps out. That's kind of your standard artillery perks. But since I have some time, let's go and pull up the previous videos I had for it. And like I said, these are not that background. These are not Ace Tanker gameplay. These are not Ace Tanker gameplay, so don't expect a lot. But they are gameplay of the tank itself to give you a more eased out version or kind of play style. In this first game, both of these are on the same maps. This first game was just me and my friends. I just gotten on. Let's test out the Bert. First game in it. Having random fun. So let's see how this plays out in the first place. Double check on some stuff. So give me a little bit. Sorry about that. This gives me a little bit more. As you you can clearly see. Oops. Let's see if we can go back. This is being that it is a tier 8 artillery, does not get premium matchmaking, but this is actually a fairly decent matchup. I mean, 3 artillery versus, oh sorry, 4 artillery versus 4 artillery. PC players would cry over this, but you know, me and my clanmates are having fun with it at this point that we were just like, let's go. Let's see how this one goes out. Don't quite remember. So let's see. I think it wasn't at this point. The range, you can see I'm all the way on D0, and that maxed out about, what is this over here? This is, I think it was right here at H5, which is 1, 2. That's a good distance away. You know, this is the same as the FV304. You know, it's all about the rapid firing artillery, which is what most people like about the FV304. You can still hear that. The FV304, you know, that's what people loved about it. It's just being able to, of course, there goes 0. We were just having fun in this one, but you know, if you play the FV304, this kind of range makes you feel completely different in a sense, like you're playing a normal artillery. I think the German artillery is kind of similar because it doesn't have range up until you get to the, what is that, tier 7, the GW Panther. So in a sense, you know, might as well. You're not going to be shooting all the way across the map, but you know, as long as you're platooned up or focusing on the same enemy, you can take advantage of some key positions with it. As we'll see with the first shot, blind shot, and I hit on top of the rock. T29, damn, gets taken out right off the bat. The Oni with a, oh look, it actually hit. 298, you know, super heavy Japanese tank. You won't be doing a lot of damage. Which is a little bit disappointing considering, unless you actually get hit, you know, 99, that's a splash that damaged the tracks. So you won't be taking too much. What is this one? See? 60 damage, barely splashed. The Oni has some great spaced side armor. If you're hitting it, you know, on the lower part because of the tracks, but Tiger 1 landed right on top, right on the back of the head. 727, which is a high roll considering the average damage is 700, and 715. A little bit high for the STA1, but lightly armored, so you're able to take it out. And was that one shot? Trying to get an arc shot over. No, couldn't get that one. Slayer Potato finishes it off. Between the three of us, we were just having too much fun. You know, I own the FV304, and I have since I've learned about it. My brother actually got it before I did, and I was grinding the Americans. He was grabbing the tier 6. He was like, "Why don't you try out this tank?" And there's the range cutoff. Yeah, he was like, "Why don't I'm just grind the British? They seem interesting. They just came out. He never played artillery, and he got to the bird, and he just enjoyed it." Oh, there's Akalai. That would be from the stream chat. This was one of the videos I recorded from my stream, so it does have the chat in the side. And Hack confirms reports. Yeah, he was having an interesting chat. I think this was right after it had gone live, and the bot I use actually came on. You know, it's a very popular bot apparently. So Bert, gotta go tank destroyer eventually. A lot of people don't like using that auto aim feature that World of Tanks console gets. Unfortunately, I've gotten so used to using it over the past couple years that I have pretty much uh, become kind of just an auto aim clicker every time I get to close range. Um, at this point, we were just having fun just shooting it. It's a rapid firing tank. But this game got over because they decided to cap, even though we were clearly winning and they had 3 tanks remaining. So it was a little bit disappointing. But as we can go over, would be the with premium, but with base you'd still get 57. Only got 89 assists, 2,395 damage. Those were with the, what was that, 2 high rolls on the STA 1, the Tiger 1. I did consistent damage to the, see, not, those are the ones that actually penetrated. Only the shots that did around 700 were the ones that penetrated. I think there was a couple more. But a lot of this came from the Oni. Let's see if I go down. No, that one was a silver boost. Still in the third position. Do I go to the detailed sheet? That's always my problem when I play artillery, is just skip out. Nope. Alright. And that was part 1 of that. This was right before I actually did the Mastery of the Sixth Sense. If you noticed from earlier in the video, I actually have Sixth Sense now. And my rank is still rank 4 with this, so this is literally my first game. My FV304 crew. Put it in there. Just, Bert doesn't care. As long as he has brothers in arms, he's good. Let's see. I have the second video of the same, on the exact same, I forgot about that one. On the exact same map. Now, let's see. I think this one I can put the audio up a little bit so it doesn't overlap. If only I had a capture card, that would probably make this a lot easier. This is in one go, so if you notice any kind of time spacing, it's because at this point I don't have anything to edit videos, so I'm just literally going off of one recording. So if you have any tips on that, just give me a message in the comments. That helps. So we'll just skip along the video here. Same map. This time, however, see if I bring up the. Do I bring it up? I normally do it every beginning. There we go. So this one, a little bit different. Still the same lineup, of course. But this time we went into a pretty favorable match for the tier 9s, dominated by tier 8s, of course. And this platoon of IS-6 is probably not happy. We were having fun with them later on, but it progressed pretty well. But this is the average matchmaking, I feel. A lot of the games I got a couple of these tier 9s, but for the most part, I'll end up in mostly tier 8s, tier 8 games. But tier 8, again, tier 8 artillery, no premium matchmaking, of course, so you can see tier 10s. I believe one of my videos I posted on YouTube as well had the tier 10 match with the waffle where I was able to jump off, clip someone. I think it was a T-32, and just shot. Panzer IVs, taking the tank destroyer spot, and me taking the exact same position I did in the previous one. This time with the aid of 2 tank destroyers. I couldn't get a shot off, even with the arc. So what I did in this site was I reversed up, and I was actually leaning over, which I'll see if I can get it on you. Right, no, almost there. It should show in a second. I had to actually park up to get this reversed onto the back of the hill to get it to go right over. So it was a good attempt, but no tomatoes. Bad chat, staying still. This is one of the things you probably don't want to do with the, as you can see, I forget to notice the actual, this is actually how long it takes for the artillery shell to get there, as I recently found out. Um, I don't play artillery that much. I'm a very much medium driver, but for the Super Bert, I take into consideration. It's well worth it. Uh, but with the aiming time, the small gun arc, and the shell velocity, it's just not. You're not able to catch a lot of tanks, on the move. So I don't recommend doing that often. If you do and you can, more to you. But I have no such luck in this tank. In Bert, a little bit more because I'm more used to driving it. They might be similar, but they do have this Panzer IV. Both of them were actually attempting to get on top of the hill in this section over here. It's actually pretty funny. I think one of them actually made it. I don't remember which one. Probably that one. Did he push him up? I'll have to check later. Revival, of course, my younger brother. He plays, but not that often. But I actually had the. He wanted a Super Bert, so had the extra cash laying around. Decided just to buy for him because he loves this. He loves the FV304. Might as well get it if I can. Great gift, no matter what. Oh, messed him up. Had to reverse. Let's see where. So at this point, the IS6s, of course, are back here, pretty much camping. I won't say camping. They're on the lower plane, so kind of hulled down. They're able to point their guns up instead of trying to go down, which any Soviet driver knows you don't get good gun depression. I think it's like 4 or 5 on the IS6. So we just started having fun. All 3 of them lined up here, and you can see the aiming time. The circle actually does get really small. The aiming time isn't all that well. And that's a small little edge to get over, and it still managed to get right over it. The gun arc on all British tanks, there's British and French tend to be really great because they end up curving a lot higher, so you get a lot of really good shots. They're standing still together. At this point, Revival is up here on B7. Slayer and I are back here on B8, B9. And we're just trying to put as much focus in on this area because the Freedom, both Freedoms down here were actually just the only 2 holding all the defense on this edge, so it wasn't really as effective. With the artillery being on this K line where most of them on that side go. So they're holding out as best as possible versus them getting slaughtered by the artillery. If you saw if you remember earlier, they got hit for 800 each. Each of them got hit for 800, which is quite a devastating blow. Let's see. IS6 putting in work. I was a little bit disappointed. I couldn't help this guy though. I really was. Up top is the Scorpion, the Tier 7 American tank. Oh, there's another one of the chats I didn't notice. Oh no, he was referring to the if that gun had a T92 splash radius or damage if that was the case. Took him out. That's 2 of the IS6, and I wasn't fortunate enough to get the 3rd, but put more damage into him. All 3 of us are just laying into him. 3 artillery. You figure each of us have 12 seconds between us. We're all firing at different times, about 3 seconds, intervals. You can do really good work if you platoon up and you aim at the exact same tank. We found that later on, when we were going against more people, we all just stuck together. You focus the same tank, even if you're doing 200 damage per shot, with the reload the way it is, you can do some really good damage and consistent at that point, even if it's just a two. I've tried to take a shot over the hill. Fortunately, Revival gets taken out. Bat Chat all loader, and Slayer's actually in front of me, so he actually blocked him from shooting me, and he took me out, or took Slayer out. And there's the Panzer IV right up on top of the hill. He actually has half health. And the Bat Chat is actually doing really good work. I think he only fired, what, 3 shots? So he has 3 remaining. Oh, first shot. And that was just a... This is my issue with even when I play mediums, is the auto aim. But I mean, again, the FV305, Bert, kind of get the same feeling, you know. Screw it, just go for the aim. Let it aim in, die. Using Slayer as a meat shield. He'll be the protector. I swear he will. This guy up here, actually, I think it's him, or is it the other one? One of them gets the... One of them, he ends up carrying really well in the end. The fatherland getting a kill on the IS-6. He was on, probably think 300 health, so that was a good hit. But he's down here, getting spotted from right down here, I believe is where he appears. Should pop up any second. Oh, there's the Waffenträger. Can I get a random shot in? 2.6 seconds to get there. 2.7. That's where I feel like this tank just underperforms, is the velocity. But if you increase the velocity on it, you know, it'd probably become really overpowered really fast, because being able to shoot and it's automatically there hitting your opponent, it's, you know, even if you increase it to 500 meters per second, it'd become really powerful. Blind shots. No, nothing. Not so much. And there's the, I believe it's the ISU. The HMH ISU 130. Comes with that 130 millimeter, very fast firing. I did not go for the full packaging for this. The full all three tanks packaged together. That's 30,000 gold. And unless you're really a collector, that's the only time I would see it. I got just the FV305. Great shot, good finish. You know, it's up to you. If you saw earlier in the chat, one of the guys was saying the same thing. You know, why would you buy it? It seems like I did not. I just wanted the FV305. The HMH M4A1, I didn't know where you got shot from. I think you got shot down on the lower plane. And the ISU just weren't as, you know, they weren't as eye-catching as the FV305. It's more unique in that sense. The M4 for them is kind of like the M4A1 Revelry Say that's probably going to be get released later on, but it's basically the same as the HMH M4 that just got released. Great shot. Ooh, and the fatherland gets taken out by the artillery. See, right on the K line. They're sneaky, man. They're sneaky. This is, of course, a video I had to use to record, which is why you keep seeing all this stuff pop up and whatnot. Trying not to make it get there, but again, no capture card. We are getting, console edition is supposed to be getting a replay system. I think they were talking about mid to late summer. I hope that becomes a thing. This way we can do kind of reviews and stuff a lot more easier for, you know, similar to PC. You know, it's kind of one of those things that people have been asking for, but it's not on there. developers don't really consider it an important item compared to making sure they get tanks in, keep people wanting to come back. Of course, I'm a sucker for the FV305 anyway. Probably. So, um, at the end, you see me loading the premium HE for the 50 meters. They're all artilleries. You get close to them, and you'll notice at the end, I didn't even hit him. I got close to him, and it actually splashed really well. Yep, there it is. Sue, or SU, was actually talking about that. I told him, no, I didn't get all three. I just wanted one. You know, most people, I didn't really care for it. I have, you know, a lot of Soviet premium tanks. Uh, the the French, I didn't really. The M4 didn't really intrigue me as much as I thought. You know, the APCR. For it being a medium tank, I prefer a faster reload, and the APCR might make it a difference, but it just didn't intrigue me. The FV305, like I said, it's that tank that reminds you of the Bird. It's a tier 8 version of it in every sense of the word. It was just more eye-catching to me, and the minute I saw it, I am looking forward to some of the other tanks they're releasing later on this month. And there's the other artillery who just got shut down. That's the M4043. I think it's the first one. There's two platooned up. They're actually pushing more to the south. Unfortunately, I didn't get the detail screen. I didn't get the detail screen really well. That one's actually in a different section. I didn't actually do it, but like I said, when I play artillery, I just look, oh cool, I didn't lose money. I've gone too many rounds of all the tanks and artillery and just shot too many rounds, and you get destroyed. You just automatically lose money. Tried the snapshot, of course, doesn't work. Panzer IV spotted him, he'll take him out. At this point, we thought the artillery was over in K3 because there was one on the lower end. You know, there's that ditch back here that people like to go to. I was surprised he didn't go there. But this is the part of the video where I was really intrigued about. Notice where I'm at right now, and what's gonna happen later on. This exact point. Look where I stop. Be reversing. Like, okay, look, he's not down there, you know. Hey, come and capture the base. We can still win. He might have ran towards our base. Take too long to get over there. I mean, I can make it, but notice where I'm at? See that careful positioning right in this area. If you can't see it. Yeah, the godlike. I give the guy credit. I don't know what form, but he actually shot. That was an M4043 splash. I was literally right here in this section. I can't even bring up the. I can't. I keep tugging the entire video to the side. I was literally right here, and you can see that even with the 10 meter, 380 health from the M4043, I was gonna die. So luckily I moved to the side. Panzer IV already shot. He's like, I want the kill. I'm gonna go get it. I mean, he was on 5 kills. I thought he was going for his Top Gun. I didn't notice, and the guy in my chat actually did, Sue. So it's actually really funny. But you know, 46 seconds. I was more worried about winning a game than losing a game, considering you know I'm firing the premium. I really didn't notice at this point. And look, not fully aimed. Screw it. Gonna go for a try. 211. Look where it landed. Behind him, and that was just a splash. You know, it's just a decent splash. And I completely didn't notice, and I just like, you know what, screw it. I want the kill. Go for a third kill. 10 pens. Cool. But he didn't complain. Still happy we won. That's all at the end of it you want. So 40,000 silver. I don't have this. This one isn't an actual doesn't boost. You know, some people use the ops to give more money. this is actually an XP one. I got 224 assisted, 2,000, so very similar to the last battle. 2,191. This time I actually did 8 penetrations, but none of them, I believe, did any of the full penetration damage. You know, the 700. Uh, Again, silver tank, so 40,000, almost 41,000 is still a pretty good value. That was 1,025 base experience. Again, it's not mastery ace tank. You know, Quickie Baby always does that. But in artillery, it tends to be harder. And the amount of games you'd have to play to get lucky enough to be able to do that, I'm not about that. I just gave good matches as far as the ones that I had, and I mean, it doesn't stand out. It really doesn't. But you know, considering most of the tier 7, tier 9s, this Panzer IV, I have no idea. I think he was the one that was just staying in the bottom part. This far guy was the one that was on top of the hill, so he did pretty good. Almost 4,000 damage there, 5 kills. Did really well. The Bat Chat, surprisingly, even though he died halfway through that match, actually managed to get on top with 2,000 damage. So it's not really. I still played really well, but I think 2 of those were one shots because of the artillery. No, he took 2 shots to take out revivals, so that's one. You can see based off of my platoon mates. Look at that, 2,000 damage. He didn't get any kills, but he did 2,000 damage. Revival in the aggressive position, a little bit closer because he was so used to playing the FV304. He was like, I gotta be a lot closer. He forgot the range that you can shoot from. I mean, it takes some getting used to because it feels like the exact same tank, so you'll always end up with that. He did get, I believe this was like 2 shots, 2 or 3. No, he got 2 shots in, and he only did 492, but he did get one of the kill. But Slayer, again, performing really well. Same. He actually got more damage than I did. But he didn't get the kills, but that's because I think I took the IS-6. One of the, if you remember in the video, he was actually passing up when Slayer shot actually hit the IS-6. Looked like he protected his platoon mate, trying to keep him alive, taking the shot. But I ended up finishing him off, so he ended up dying anyway. But 2,000 damage. He actually had around the same amount of silver value. I believe he got he's not using the pudding. I am. If not, I would have made 60,000. But I believe he made around 40,000 without using the pudding. You know, that's still pretty, and that's being, you know, mid. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That's 7th place, 7th on experience. You know, that's pretty good. As far as that, that's pretty much it. You know, it's. I forget. You could see this. Look at this. So good. As far as that, that's about all I have on it. You guys can tell me what you think. Comments down below. Would I recommend anyone buying it? Yes, for the novelty value. I mean, it's kind of what you get it for. The FV304 lookalike, the Super Bert, and which I'm pretty sure it's popular going to become known as. That's what it is. It's a Super Bert. You're going to end up with it anyway. As far as buying the entire, I believe the standard tank is 10,200. I know the price said. Price on the website says the tank is valued at 9,800, but of course they give you a garage slot plus the ASOPs. I wasn't able to show you that earlier. I actually forgot about that. The ASOP that's included in that bundle, the FV304, which they all come with. The artillery is a little bit high, earning 30,000 experience with it, but of course you get the 100,000 silver, a day of premium. You know, you'll play. It'll get you enough games to at least get used to it. You'll feel the differences between that and the FV304. Again, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this was informative as far as a tank review. I know I've been babbling it on, but it's as best as I can do. No real editing in this. But stick around. Hopefully I can do some more tank reviews. If you guys have anything you want me to look over while I have a chance, just leave it in the comments, and see you next time. Have a good night.